Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, December 13. Senator Aubin Hill has been appointed the new Executive Director of the Economic Growth Council, the EGC. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the announcement at a Jamaica House press conference Tuesday. Senator Hill will be tasked with helping to develop an economic policy to nurture a doctrine of economic growth, coordinate economic projects, and be an advocate for growth.
I'm satisfied and I'm confident that Senator Hill will be able to execute the duties of the office very proficiently, but in a way that at the end of the day we can all be satisfied that Jamaica is serious about growth and that we will achieve 5 in 4.
Senator Hill, who is also Special Investment Ambassador to India, replaces Maureen Denton, who resigned in August this year. The new EGC Executive Director says he is targeting 2.3% growth in 2018.
I want to make sure that we understand that we have to pass through 2.3 to get to 5 and 4. So we're going to work assiduously to make that happen through the agencies who drive growth, the ministries, the government bodies, and the private sector.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Economic Growth Council, Michael Lee Chin, is expressing confidence in the country's capacity to achieve 5% growth in 4 years. This, he says, is due to the unprecedented liquidity in Jamaica's financial sector. Having held 170 meetings with stakeholders and signed a call to action memorandum, Mr. Lee Chin says the council is now at the execution phase.
I have not seen this amount of liquidity in the system as it is today. We have a stable currency. We have not seen that for decades. We have a strong NIR, reserves, and we have a stock market that's booming. So all of these parameters point to one big thing: confidence. And confidence is a precursor to success.
While sharing Mr. Lee Chin's confidence, Prime Minister Holness says other factors would have to contend.
But that has to be paired with good projects to invest in. And people also have to feel that there is a certain level of security. The security concern is not just for the big businesses, it is more so a concern for the average Jamaican.
And Prime Minister Andrew Holness says the Economic Growth Council is actively engaged in assisting government's crime-fighting efforts. As he voiced concerns about the crime situation in Montego Bay, Mr. Holness said the Growth Council has been monitoring all the security agreements under the IMF program.
They have been doing a very good job to monitor that, in particular legislation that will see a new JCF Act being put in place and other arrangements. We are also seeking to support the security initiative through other means, which we will disclose at a later date, particularly as it relates to financing security initiatives.
In other news, residents of Balaclava and its environs are now benefiting from a renovated health center. The Type 3 health facility was repaired and reopened recently to better serve the more than 15,000 persons who use the center. The rehabilitation of the facility was undertaken with a capital injection of $14 million from the Culture, Health, Arts, Science and Education Chase Fund. At the recent opening, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton urged residents to take greater responsibility for their health.
The reality is, a lot of people focus more often than not on what hospitals and doctors can and cannot do, rather than focus on the fact that if them drink a lot of rum and consume a lot of sugar, then they're susceptible to get all the ailments that are associated with that. That if they don't spend half an hour a day to do a little exercise, or they engage in smoking, then ultimately they're going to have issues with their personal health.
Government, in partnership with the University of the West Indies Mona campus, has launched its Sugar Heritage Film Series project. A Jamaica 50 legacy project of the Ministry of Agriculture, the 2 films showcase the history of the island's sugar industry in an entertaining way. At Tuesday's launch, Culture Minister Olivia Grange said the films would educate Jamaicans about their history while helping to reinvent the sugar industry.
This will be so as we use the message or the messages of these two films to find a way to reinvent our sugar industry. We must discover how to make new money from the oldest industry in Jamaica.
And finally, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett is calling for a deepening of collaboration among Caribbean states to strengthen the region's tourism brand. Mr. Bartlett made the call at Tuesday's post-event press conference on the recently concluded UNWTO Global Conference on Tourism. He said based on the success of the conference and the signing of the 15-point Montego Bay Declaration, there's need for more partnerships, particularly multi-destination agreements.
The islands of the Eastern and Southeastern Caribbean have a greater need, in my mind, for multi-destination tourism. For one reason is that they are more accessible to each other. They're closer, although we are too. But the ease with which the multi-destination experiences can be managed because of proximity, right, makes the Eastern Caribbean, in my mind, a no-brainer for multi-destination tourism.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.